The next episode.
Hold up.
Ba 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 ba. Boop boop.
Oh, fuck it.
How we looking?
That's usually how I am when I go to McDonald's.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah,
McDonald's is always a fuck it moment.
Yeah.
It's never like, let's go to McDonald's. It's
Yeah,
like,
nah.
shit, it's the only thing open.
Yeah, it'd be like 2 a.m. So it's like, fuck it. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to McDonald's. Or if you're lucky, you can get the Uber Eats. And they can get like somebody delivered to your house, so you ain't gotta sit in them.
Fuck that. I
yeah.
cannot do Uber,
Man.
DoorDash.
See, that's the cheat code. That's people don't understand. That's the cheat code to getting anything on the McDonald's menu. You
That's
order
not true.
Uber.
I've
Yes,
ordered
it is.
shit, and they're like, the Uber person calls
Nah.
me. They're like, oh, the
Nah.
machine's down and shit.
Nah, they ain't never called me. Every time I gotten a Oreo McFlurry or M&M McFlurry, Butterfinger. They even had Butterfinger.
I can't even remember the last time I've gotten a McFlurry. The machine is literally always down.
It's never down when you order it off.
That's
them
not.
darn
I don't
apps,
believe you, man.
Because they can't say no to you, or they got to refund you. Then they got to go through the process of going
But
back.
that's
and
not
refunding.
McDonald's' fucking fault, is it?
Hey,
That would be like through DoorDash. Or, I don't know.
no, it's McDonald's. Because if you order it on the app, they go process it either way. So then after this process, if you didn't get that piece of your order, you go back on there and say I didn't get this.
Yeah.
They got to refund you. So now it's like they got to go
That's the
through all
cheat code.
that.
But
Yeah.
the cheat code comes with a price because you got to pay $10 extra for that damn McFlurry.
I mean, you got it though.
I don't know.
Who else? Who else can say they had one?
Yeah, I haven't had one in, I don't feel like years now, man.
Exactly, people. I'm Drum. This
J.Cashmoney.
y'all
This is
caught
the
us.
next episode.
Yeah, y'all caught us right in the middle of the next episode. We were drinking some of these "Chasing the Ghosts of Views" by Percent.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I think my thing with McDonald's is, like I said, though, it's always like a last minute, last effort, what do you call it? Last resort type situation.
Yeah, it's the last hurrah, man. I mean,
And
other than going to the Waffle House.
Yeah, but then that's like, we'd have to all get ready and put clothes on and shit.
Yeah, you
Like,
got to be ready to fight and all
Yeah.
kind of stuff. Like somebody might,
You gotta risk the chance of like lung cancer while you're in there.
Yeah.
The smoke, the
drunkies.
cook back there is like ashing in your pancakes
Yeah.
and stuff.
turn around, throwing all kind of stuff everywhere.
But so late at night though, I guess I always give them a break because I'm like, well, it's 10 o'clock. I guess the machine would be down at 10 o'clock or some shit, man.
Machine ain't down, man. That's their way of not giving you the upper hand as the customer.
Mm-hmm.
The customer's always right. Nah, that's
Not
them
anymore,
saying,
man.
like, look, no. Nah, our smoothie machine is down too. Come on, man. Like, all the stuff ain't down. Like, come on.
Yeah. I think I even asked for like one of their like cafe coffee drinks or whatever, and they were like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, what are y'all doing up, man?
They don't want to do that right now. It's down. All right.
I think customer service in general has kind of just gone down the drain due to COVID specifically, I think, because people don't even like interact face to face anymore. So like,
well,
having to please somebody, having to look somebody in the eye and hand them something you fucked up is different than just like handing somebody over the phone, parked in the car, whatever. Like, here's that shit I didn't do for you.
Yeah.
Right here,
and you got the cover of the mask, like you said. I think earlier.
Last episode.
I like having a mask on sometimes. I could breathing. You got mouth breathers and stuff like that. Sometimes you don't. It's allergy season, so you don't want to have to be doing all that. You might have to do a little of those, but you don't want to be out in public.
What are you saying then? The public,
Well, I'm just saying that, and then whatever other facial gestures you might be making, because you might be looking at something on your phone or something. You don't want to come off as some kind of creep. But you got the mask on. People can't tell that, and you can still have that personal ness of keeping your identity and your own face impressions and stuff to yourself. Like,
I think I'm gonna just keep wearing a mask forever, man.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of
And
like
you're being
the
safe.
privacy,
yeah, privacy.
Yeah. Plus, I think I said it before. People have a harder time identifying you when they can only see here.
Yeah. And that's where the personability is not there with customers anymore, because you don't know who that really is behind that mask most of the time. They don't care because they don't know who you are either. So
I feel like food tastes worse too. Maybe it's just because going to a restaurant always tastes better. But like sometimes I'll DoorDash I'll break down and I'll DoorDash something from like Cracker Barrel or something, and then I get it, and I'm like, this isn't as good as like. Did the quality go down?
No,
or is it like
it's because of the atmosphere.
it's being there, right? It's like add something to it.
No, this is. Oh man, Seinfeld had a whole sketch about this. The going out.
Yeah.
People want to be out.
Oh, I remember.
You know, they don't care what they're doing. You know,
what are you doing tonight? Going out?
Yeah, we're
Like,
going
where
out.
you going? I don't know.
Going out. People want the feeling of being out, and when you're in, it's like it tastes different because now you're not in the atmosphere.
Just
of,
at your shitty house or whatever.
Yeah, well, just being out. That's the freedom of being able to go. Like now you're missing out on. Whatever the set design is of this restaurant while you're eating this home cooked Southern food. Like
well,
you want
specifically, like a Cracker Barrel. Like you kind of go into that atmosphere. You gotta get transported.
But that's how all restaurants are, man, and that's that experience. Like
Cracker Barrel takes it to another level. Sure, you go into Olive Garden and you feel like you're
all restaurants have some kind of like set, setup. Sure. That's giving you
but you don't get transported like you do with Cracker Barrel, man. It's like a time machine when you go into Cracker Barrel.
Why? Because it's so historic and old.
Like you're at grandma's house and
stuff. That's kind of how the South is. Like everything in the South is kind of that way. And you want to be sitting on the back porch drinking lemonade or Arnold Palmer. Right. Some of those that know what that is. So that's the feeling you want to have when you go out to any kind of restaurant, though.
You mentioned Waffle House. We used to go to Waffle House all the time.
Oh, I used to work at a Waffle House.
Yeah.
It was like one of my first jobs, man.
I saw like a TikTok video or something where like someone was visiting the South, right? And they were talking to one of their friends and they were like, oh, while you're down here, you got to go to Waffle House. Yeah. And the person is like, oh, can I expect to get top quality waffles? No. Can I expect great service? No. Can I expect clean atmosphere? No. Like, then why would I want to go to Waffle House? Because you need to, man.
Because it's an experience.
It's great.
Man.
It is great.
You're going to meet all walks of life in the Waffle House.
That's true.
Depending on what time you go there.
Yeah.
If you go there late enough, you're going to see truck drivers, you're going to see party goers, you might see a small family of 3,
Yep.
You might,
a couple after church.
Yeah, a couple after, whatever. A couple army people or something, whatever. It's no telling what you go see there. And it's no telling what you might find on the jukebox that might get people in there doing some little different stuff.
We used to go kind of every Sunday, and they'd be playing some jams on the jukebox, man. I don't even think it was the jukebox. I think one of the cooks had like the aux cord into his phone or something, man. I was like, they were playing like Hozier and like some good old fashioned like white people music and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it's
Chris Stapleton and stuff like
that.
But
it's just atmosphere, good breakfast kind of food. You can get anything else, of course, but most of it is breakfast type of stuff.
If you're going to Waffle House and not getting breakfast, what are you doing?
You get a patty melt. I mean, patty melt usually kind of hold you over too. That's for the road.
Yeah. Get one to go.
Yeah, that's the truck drivers, man. I used to work there, man. They get that patty melt to go.
Mm-hmm.
Get a double
patty melt.
Yeah,
you got to stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something on truckers the other day. How like
I got some trucker friends, man.
Do you?
Yeah, man.
Do they enjoy it?
Yeah, they lifers, man. It's a career.
Doing it for a while.
Yeah,
What did they think of the whole like trucker strike that was like going on here recently?
Well, it depends on where you worked at. Some of them, the government actually made them essential workers.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, he actually been transporting. Like he went to Cali recently, and he go out there and drive for them under the same company and stuff, of course. But they pay him room and board, all that stuff. Went to Detroit, I think, a couple weeks ago. Like,
I mean, it is pretty essential, though. I mean, without truckers,
without people ordering stuff off Amazon, y'all stop ordering stuff. Like, I mean, the truckers definitely would be on a strike, but you ordering that stuff, somebody got to haul it somewhere to get it there.
I got respect for truckers, man.
Yeah,
I was watching John Oliver. Do you watch John Oliver? He used to be on the Daily Show all the time. Yeah, I know you watch the Daily Show.
I don't watch him now because I think he's like on another.
I don't know. They replaced John Stewart.
Today's
John
News
Daly.
Last night or whatever. I can't remember the.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, but they got Trevor Noah on the Daily Show now, and it's just not as good.
Nah,
and then John Oliver, the British dude, does Last Week Tonight on HBO. He does some interesting stuff though, man. He did something on truckers, and
they got a good team over there, man.
It's cool because it's like investigative journalism. It's not necessarily like,
and that's what I mean by having a good team, like because it's John Oliver's face, of course, but like everyone else that's on that whole
they actually do a good job.
Like they're meshed. Like they all know the assignment, as they say.
He just did one the other day that I found really interesting. Let's see if I can kind of summarize it to do it justice. But back in the day, there was like some type of law, or there wasn't a law. You could go into like a movie store, let's say, and say, I know this certain like senator goes here. Will you show me their like rental history?
Yeah.
And they'll go, sure, yeah, we can show you this rental history.
Oh, that's old school stuff right there.
But then
like
they passed a law. As soon as like the politicians heard that was, you could do that, they passed a law where you couldn't do that anymore. So it's similar on the internet where like you can find out what people are searching for and stuff like that in a similar fashion, I guess, how you can look at their rental history. So John Oliver and their team like set up this like search radius within like 10 miles of the White House. And they ran these certain ads. There were these like fucked up like Ted Cruz fan fiction, erotic fan fiction.
Yeah.
And then by the people who clicked on it, they could like kind of tell where they were. And of course, if you're 10 miles within the White House, you're probably some type of like public servant.
Government officials and everything.
So then at the end of the show, John Oliver's team was like, we have all this data in this manila folder right here. If you don't change the way the internet works, we could release all this.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, damn, man, like they actually like try to do some stuff on that show. Like that.
I mean, I think that's just the being American type of thing. Like, all this stuff is kind of getting away with certain type of things. Like, look, all right, let's spin it back on you so we can like try to come to a compromise of how we can change some of this stuff. Like, why would we want to have?
We're being monitored all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm not even like some type of like, one of those theorists, one of those. I'm not like conspiracy, but we are like monitored. We're being monitored constantly.
Yeah, it's the eye in the sky, as they say, man.
People know all about us that shouldn't. It's easy.
Your phones listen to you, and like anything that you talk about openly in dialogue, like all of a sudden it pops up in your.
It's like they know, man.
Yeah, of course.
Alexa is like fucking listening.
Alexa is that bitch. She's finding something without you knowing. Like, hey, come on now.
Man, what else is going on though? I don't know if you've been following, but I saw Johnny Depp is in court now. Do you know anything about that?
I think maybe last year they was having like some kind of I don't know if it was like it wasn't like sexual abuse.
I don't fully know either, man. Like, the woman he was with, Amber Heard, basically kind of ruined his career through like dragging his name through the mud. He was a bad person, so he kind of got blacklisted. And my understanding is the trial that's going on currently is like Johnny Depp is suing Amber Heard for defamation, kind of like
defamation of character, of course.
And it's just turned into a fucking circus, man. Like my girl is watching it. I don't know why it's televised. Like a lot of shit isn't. Like trials can't be televised, can they?
They usually have all this stuff on court TV. It's just they just kind of. It depends on other networks if they want to go on to court TV and like get coverage also, but you can go on court TV.
I was just surprised that it
was
like I was on like fucking Instagram. I was scrolling through like stories and it was like Johnny Depp live, and I was like, what the fuck? I was on TikTok scrolling and it was like Johnny Depp live. I'm in the court. I'm like, what the fuck?
And that's what I mean. Like they all, of course, other networks is there, but now they've found that this is a story because.
It was just famous people. Like I said last time, though, like people just want to know about famous people.
But what else is going on right now? You got baseball season that started back. I mean, there's no real like,
I guess people
type of stuff.
It came at the right time. Well, that's the weird thing too, though, is like I've come to like realize that Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are both two kind of fucked up individuals, which is fine. You can be fucked up by yourself, with a couple, with two people. Y'all can just be weird folks.
Yeah.
But this trial is just really dragging all that shit out into the public. Like, I was watching for like 30 seconds the other day, and they showed a picture of Johnny Depp passed out on his couch with like melted ice cream running down his lap. I was like, all right, y'all did this shit to yourselves, man. Like, you're bringing out all your dirty laundry into the fucking public, man.
What else? What was that supposed to like showcase that he's like
that he's like, yeah,
or
like
something? Like,
see, that's the thing this case has evolved into is just like both
like
of them.
A drunken.
Yeah, they were trying to
somber
paint
or
him in a
something.
certain way, right? He's such a drunk dude that he passed out while he was eating ice cream.
And he didn't even realize it was ice cream melting all over.
Sure. But that's the thing this case has kind of just evolved into. I don't know if this is how it normally goes, but it's just like Johnny Depp talking shit about Amber Heard. She's such a bad person. She did this, and this. And then Amber Heard comes up and then she goes, Johnny Depp is such a bad person. He did this. And it's just both of them just dragging their laundry out.
Of course, man. I mean, the real question here is how much money is involved? Like how is someone trying to get a settlement or something, or if it's just like
that's true. Like I don't really know much about it.
Because it feels like it's like a a tug of war type of thing of like, all right, I'm gonna say this about you to try to keep you from getting so much, but then I'm gonna bring this back on you because.
Well, I don't know. I would like to think I'm kind of a Johnny Depp fan. I'd like to think
we all Johnny Depp fans, man.
Yeah, for sure. He's Captain Jack Sparrow and shit,
yeah.
man, and Willy Wonka. But I kind of like I kind of like to think that he just wants to be unblacklisted. You know what I mean?
He probably just want to be done with all of it so he can get back to.
He wants to be in movies because he got kicked off of the Fantastic Beasts movie, the Harry Potter movie. They kicked him out and recasted him because of what Amber Heard had said about him. So. I don't know if he's seeking money. I'm sure there's money involved, but
messing with his money, man. Ain't nobody happy about it, especially with big movie projects. Because all the stuff he does now is big movie projects. Mm-hmm. Man.
Like the Incredible Beasts movie. Do you watch that stuff? Like Harry Potter, the Wizarding World?
Oh yeah, man. We've seen the majority of them. I think the last one I might have seen was like Prisoner of Azkaban,
sure.
or whatever.
I mean, it's. You've seen it, which is cool.
Goblet of Fire.
You can keep your nerd card because you can name a movie and stuff. But
I mean, I've watched them. I mean,
yeah. I see them all the time. My girl just has them on constantly in the house, all the time. She subscribes.
We're trying to get our daughter into it. She likes Harry Potter. We went to Magic Quest recently on a family trip.
Yeah. What is that?
Tennessee.
Magic Quest.
Magic Quest is in Tennessee. It's near Pigeon Forge area and stuff.
It's like a place you go to? What do you call it? Like a Carowinds type situation or something?
It's kind of like one of the attractions there, whatever, because it's like a big freaking castle. Like it's the whole building. That's the only reason we put it over there. Because my son was like, "Oh, I'm going to the castle. I'm going to go to the castle." Yeah. They had an arcade there. They got golf.
Yeah,
which is under
like
neon.
mini golf.
Yeah, it's like neon.
Putt-putt.
Yeah, it's a pirate golf. So it's like got pirate ship in there and stuff, but it's all under black light.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Y'all did that?
Yeah. It was like a package deal. So I got the package deal. They had the quest, they got them wands, they actually can
they interact with the shit or something? Like you wave it and it
it casts the spells and stuff or whatever, and you actually had booklets and you can go on quests to find the guy with the man of the mist and
That's
all kind of stuff. So it was literally a half a day type of thing.
Were they into it? Did you?
Yeah, they eventually. My wife eventually got into it because everyone was mad at me because I ruined the trip because I was having a episode or stuff. But
hey, I've been there too, man.
Yeah, but
sometimes
I think that kind of made up for it because it was the last day.
Yeah.
So I was I already knew I was messing up. So I was make up for it. I went out early that morning, everyone was still asleep. Went down Pigeon Forge area. It was all right, let me map out, what kind of things I think they might want to do. So we'll have a plan.
Oh, look at that, man!
Yeah, man. I mean,
dad mode. For
I was trying to make up for what I already had knew I messed up. So
that's good, man.
So we went there. My wife really got into it. My daughter, they was checking all the clues and stuff in the booklet and.
It almost sounds like a kind of some kind of escape room type. You ever done an escape room?
It kind of was that way, man. Because it's they had people, going everywhere.
That stuff's
all
fun,
over
man.
the place, man.
My girl wants to go to the actual like Harry Potter world. I think that's in like Universal or somewhere.
And that's what I was gonna try to piggyback on too.
Yeah.
Like that's why I want them to try to,
Get
because they've
into
mentioned like watching some Harry Potter, but now that they've done like the Magic Quest thing, they got the wands and they like their own wand. So it's like, all right, let's jump into this.
I never really got into Harry Potter for some reason, man. Like
I like it, man. It's magic spells and
I guess. I don't know. I've always been like a sci-fi person though. And I guess there's two branches of like what I would call fantasy fiction or fantasy movies. Yeah. And one is like magic and dragons and knights and fairies.
Stuff that's real fantasy.
And then there's fantasy, but it's like science fiction-y. It's like aliens and Star Wars and Star Trek and stuff like that. And I've always just been on that side of it with the aliens and the outer space.
Yeah, I don't do. I can understand the dragon things, but it's like I don't necessarily need that part for it to be like.
I mean, I've seen Lord of the Rings. I enjoy Lord of the Rings. It's cool, but I'm much more of like a Star Wars type person.
Oh, man, yeah. Let's not even start talking about Lord of the Rings because oh my god,
it's my girl, man. So it's weird because she's very much in that lane of the fantasy. She likes Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter, and I like The Hobbit, and I like Star Wars and Mandalorian and all that, whatever, Star Wars universe type shit. So I want to go to the Star Wars world they got or whatever, man. Have you seen that shit? They've actually got like a hotel you can go stay in, and I guess it's like a minimum you stay 3 nights. That's like the package. It's like a 3-night thing, and you show up and you're like assigned whether you're a Jedi or a Sith, and then like your entire stay is basically like a scripted adventure type shit. So like you check in and like while you
got to get up and all that
stuff.
stuff.
And while you're waiting to go to your room or something, like something breaks out into the lobby, and then you got to figure out you need to help Chewbacca do this. It's like a whole adventure and stuff, man.
Like bust out.
I can do that shit too.
I gotta get you a little stormtrooper helmet and stuff.
Yeah.
So I start running through the aisle like this. I think they're over here. Yes, I try.
That sounds just like them. And then you shoot at them and you don't hit anything because that's what stormtroopers do.
I couldn't hit the side of a barn, man.
So I want to go do that, man. But
that's kind of cool.
It's fucking expensive from what I hear.
We almost went to the wax museum. Like the way they had.
So y'all were in Tennessee. Like what? Like
we went to the wilderness at the Smokies. It's a water park.
Yeah.
It's indoor and outdoor.
That's dope.
Yeah, it was nice, man. The kids loved it. We didn't get to do like all of the fun stuff because it was more about the kids,
right.
And they couldn't ride like the big slides and all that stuff. I wanted to go down, but I was just like, I was like, I don't want to be the only person that goes down. It's like then everyone is gonna be like, oh, he's showing off or something. Yeah. Like, nah, I just want to try to get the whole experience while we're here, but.
Cool.
I'm sure we're gonna go back because we had the cabin, the whole room set up and stuff.
Y'all need to go like whitewater rafting or something like that, man. Do like real mountain stuff.
Look, first off, I'm the only person that knows how to swim.
Yeah, you need to get your kids into some lessons, man.
Nah, my daughter has been in swimming lessons. They know how to paddle and do all that stuff or whatever.
They can stay afloat.
They can stay afloat.
That's good.
But my wife doesn't swim. My wife, she don't really get in water too much like that because she's not a swimmer. So
I love being by like a pool and stuff, man. Just a body of water.
See, I learned how to swim when I was 9 years old. Yeah. My dad taught me how to swim, backstroke, all that butterfly. Like,
I definitely need to teach my son how to swim because we're going to be around water. Like, I don't know what like that process is. I just assume I throw him in the pool. And he figures it out. I mean, I don't know. Like, no?
Nah, man. Like, babies usually can adapt to swimming because they've been in the womb, they say.
They've been in water for 9 months or whatever.
But you still want to have them like some, arm protection.
Some floaties?
Yeah, some floaties. Maybe if he's of a size to put on a little vest, you put a vest on him. But, try to keep your arm or your hand up under his belly area. Try to get him to do his little paddle and his kicks and just float him around.
We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
and then you can kind of like, let that off over time and see if
Is
you
it
can
like
kinda-
something that requires like lessons though, or is swimming something you can kind of just
Nah.
like catch on to? You know?
You can catch, and that's what I say. Like my dad taught me how to swim.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go get lessons if you want to get someone that professionally knows how to
Right.
do everything with like the.
But like
you
the
know,
average person should just be able to kind of figure it out. If you're like in a pool and you go,
It takes
okay,
time. It
yeah.
takes time. I wouldn't say you can get it in a day. Like you probably can if you're an adult, but as a kid, you do it enough times with repetition.
This memory just came flooding back to me. I had some friends in high school that didn't know how to swim, and my parents had a pool. And it was amazing how little they actually like knew about swimming. Like I feel like I had to tell them how to hold their breath type stuff. Like, what do you mean? How do I hold my breath? You breathe in, you don't breathe out type shit.
Yeah, or hold your nose.
I remember they got in the pool, and it was amazing to me because they sunk to the bottom of the pool.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't even know
And
people
like how
can like.
people can do that, cause
I can't even try to sink if I wanted to. They were just like whoop, at the bottom.
because they don't have the knowledge of knowing how to just kind of keep yourself afloat.
Yeah, it's crazy
And
how
it's,
that
it's
is.
a little.
kind of
It's just a
skill.
little motion where it's just like, all right, keep your legs and stuff kind of
treading
moving.
water. You just gotta stay with you.
But when you don't know that, it's like this is gonna tell how old I am. If you ever had Frosted Flakes back in the day, and they came with the little Tony the Tiger thing in it, and it was like Tony the Tiger was kind of like this.
What did he sink in the pool?
No, you put it in a 2-liter bottle of water,
yeah.
and you squeeze it, and he would go all the way down to the bottom, and he would pop back up. See, this is some.
I didn't even know.
Yeah,
What
see,
the
this
word?
is some old school stuff right here. If you was a serial killer like I was,
If you know what we're talking about,
yeah,
send it to us.
yeah,
I wanna
look
see
it up,
this shit.
people.
Yeah.
Tony the Tiger in the cereal box toy. Put it in the 2-liter bottle. You squeeze it. It'll dip all
Do
the
you
way
put
down.
the lid on it?
Yeah, you fill it. You fill the 2-liter bottle all the way up.
Yeah.
You put the little thing in. Is literally like he's like this,
Yeah.
and it's probably like this long.
So you squeeze it and he's
Yeah, you put him in the 2-liter bottle.
Which is
you
counter.
put the cap
It
on.
feels like if you squeeze it, he would go up.
No, because it's like a little air. It's like a little bit of an air bubble in there. So when you squeeze it, it'll go all the way down to the bottom,
That's
and
like
you
some
let
science
it go.
shit. That's some Mr.
Yeah.
Wizard stuff, man.
Look up Tony the Tiger 2-liter bottle.
I mean, I miss getting toys and
Yeah, I don't know if they do that
cereal and
anymore,
stuff,
man. Do they?
I don't know either. I doubt it.
I don't ever see toys too much anymore.
Do they even do toys and like Happy Meals and shit? Do they
Yeah.
still do that?
Oh yeah, man. They do that. They have promotional.
I remember as a kid, I used to know we got to go to McDonald's because they got Batman like toys for the next 2 weeks or something.
You'll
man.
get there. Your kids, once your kids get older, and
You'll let me know.
they'll only want to eat like chicken nuggets because they know McDonald's got chicken nuggets and it's gonna come with a toy.
What do you want for dinner? Chicken nuggets?
Yeah.
No, you
I
don't.
want
You just
McDonald's.
want the Batman toy.
I want McDonald's.
Full of shit, kid.
Yeah, my daughter does that. She'll see something like I think they had Encanto or something came out.
God, motherfucking Encanto.
Man,
My
everything that came out of wherever it came, she was like, "I want this, I want that tonight." It was like you're just trying to get the toys. You want the toys, so
Yeah.
Once-
We
once
cut
in
it
a
on.
age,
We
man.
cut it on for my son last night in Kanto.
Yeah.
Well, my girl really wanted to watch it. Let's not
it's a
even
good
like.
movie, man.
Is it though?
It's all right, man.
Movies like Encanto and Frozen, I get the appeal, but I just can't like. I don't enjoy the movies.
It's okay.
I'm serious.
So no. Look, I will say this. I hate musical movies. I've always hated musical movies, but with all of the kid movies that come out, all of them got some kind of singing and dancing.
I don't mind musical movies. Don't get me wrong,
But
but I do feel like Frozen and Encanto are specifically like they wrote songs and then made a movie around them songs.
Yeah, of course, man, because that's how a lot of these Disney movies are.
Like I like what was the other one that just came out? Seeing Red. Like I like Disney movies and like animated movies.
That's an age appropriate film. I don't know if they got like a wide 7 or something on that or not.
So like
Seeing Red.
yeah, it deals with some more like I don't know mature kind of teenage stuff.
Well,
maybe I don't know.
it's about getting your period.
Yeah, to an extent. It's like
No, that's what.
no, I mean like directly it does like kind of
Yeah,
like
that's what it's
reference that, but
Yeah,
it,
but
it also
they're
deals
trying to,
with
like,
becoming
Emotional and all kind of stuff, dealing with all
growing
your
up
hormones.
and stuff. Yeah. So full fucking disclosure. I'm not gonna hide the shit. If y'all notice some like weird edits in this, like sometimes the camera cuts off, so we gotta stop talking and just go fix the camera. So we're gonna try to jump back into where we were, but I just want to be real with y'all up front. Like this is no professional like setup we got going on. We're just two guys in a garage, fucking talking some shit, you know.
But we're
So-
professionals, man.
You know.
We're professionals.
Yeah, maybe I'm being too modest. You know.
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you're trying to cater to the audience.
I just want to be real with y'all. If y'all notice like an edit somewhere,
Look.
that's the reason why. We don't want to have to do the
look,
shit.
man, it's only said, all right? It's not like we got a big audience.
Listen, Sad, I'm telling you how this shit works. I'm peeling back
Saying,
the
you know
layers,
what's going on here, man. Come on, man.
telling you how the sausage is made, so to
Yeah.
speak. You know, not many people want to know what's in the sausage, but I'm gonna let you know.
Tell you how the sausage made there now.
I'll show you what the hot dogs are made.
I swear that sounds like a fog leghorn.
I say.
I tell you, son, I don't want to tell you how the sausage made there now.
And if you notice, I got a different can now. We took a little break since the camera cut off, and we re-upped with some hard seltzer. So
Yeah, gotta get that body right for the summer, as they say.
Don't knock us for
Yeah.
drinking hard seltzer. You know.
What they say, the city boys, city whatever it is, city dads. I don't know.
White boy summer type shit.
Yeah,
you know, like-
I don't know none of the terminology anymore because I'm apparently old.
At least it's not White Claw, because apparently that is what the basic bitches drink. You know.
I've never had a White Claw. I mean,
No?
I think all hard seltzers kind of almost.
Yeah, they're all the fucking same. But
Yeah.
White Claw is like name brand
I
recognition.
thought that
type
was
shit.
that like on a yacht boat type of,
Oh, that's what these are.
Well, I don't. I mean,
Any hard seltzer is white girl summer shit, man. You know, or hot girl summer. Not even
Okay.
white girl, hot girl summer, man.
goddamn White Claw. We gotta get some White Claw, man.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out again to our sponsor. We got a sponsor, y'all. Percent. Check out that beer commercial shot by yours truly,
This guy.
Chasing the Ghost of You.
Yeah.
Y'all look him up on Instagram.
There's a can up there. We was
Yeah.
drinking some right here. It's pretty dope.
Yeah.
If y'all watched last episode, I mentioned my new tattoo here, and it's actually
On the can.
well, not my tattoo, but it's a plague doctor right there. Pretty
Yeah.
dope.
Craziness, y'all.
Plague
See?
doctors. Did we go into this last time? Like what their deal is?
I don't think so.
Do you know?
No, I have no clue.
Do you know why their like masks are the
I
way
have
they are?
no recollection.
Plague doctors. They were a real thing. They existed during like the Black Plague, which was
Oh,
a pretty long time ago, right? I don't know when. I'm not a history person at all. Hundreds of years ago, right?
Yeah.
In like
early 1900s
London,
or
England,
something.
before America
18.
was founded.
Yeah.
You know, so they didn't know science wasn't really a thing either, right? So like they didn't know what germs were. They didn't know. They thought you got sick from like evil spirits and shit like that, right? So,
And they thought of the way of curing sickness was to drain your blood.
yeah, sure, yeah, there was some fucked up stuff going
Yeah.
on. Like they didn't.
Let's just let them bleed out a
They
little bit.
didn't know what they were doing.
Some fresh blood will get back in there. They'll be all right.
So-
Eat you some beets.
Some beats, like whatever.
Sleep,
Sure.
sleep for
Put some
probably
ashes
a couple
around
of
your
days.
body or
Yes,
something.
you
Yeah.
know.
So
Black
these
Panther type of stuff, you know.
these guys wore these like scary ass masks,
Can they
not
see
to
that?
protect
Can they see
themselves. I don't know. Like I don't know how to show off this tattoo
Yeah,
yet. This
there
thing
you
right there. So this cone, they look like birds. In fact,
Yeah.
my boss noticed my tattoo. He was like, "What is that? Some kind of swagged out woodpecker?" And I was like, "Oh my fucking god!" So
It could be a steampunk woodpecker.
And then my girl's dad, he was like, "That's some kind of steampunk
Yeah,
thing." I was like, "Sure, sure it is, whatever."
Steampunk woodpecker.
So they have these noses that look like a beak or a bird, and you know, someone might look at that and go, "Oh, it's to protect them from the germs." No, what they did was they filled these beaks up with like flowers and things that smelled good, just so that they could deal with like the smell of death and rotting bodies, because there was so much of that shit going on, so much death and decay, that they wore these masks simply so they could function without having to smell all that stuff. So they would put
smelling ridicule,
flowers and jasmine and all in that cone, so when they breathe, that's all they would smell.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man.
And it's like always like a demonic look for like everything when people see it. They think it's like, oh my God.
Well, these days you see it. It is scary. It's like, I've seen historical pictures of the dudes, and they look just how they're depicted in modern day media is how they looked back in the day. Yeah. Like, if you could imagine someone like that walking the streets and shit.
I'm getting the fuck away from him.
Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck is he smelling in there?
Right. Like, this dude's definitely coming to kill me. Yeah. Like, I'm not getting anywhere near him.
Why have smelling salts in there? Like, ain't no telling shit. Stay awake around here.
I don't even know why we brought all the can and my tattoo and all that stuff, right?
You know, parallel universe type of thing.
What a completely different subject. What's your favorite movie, Melania?
Of all time? Mm-hmm. What genre though?
No.
Okay.
Favorite of
like all time favorite?
Do you need me to give you a genre?
Nah. My all-time favorite.
Don't.
Nah. This has literally been my all-time favorite since forever.
Hold on. Wait. Lucky Number 11.
Yeah, that's my shit.
I remember that shit from school. Actually,
yeah, that's why. Because that's my favorite. It's literally like my fucking movie.
That was a pretty good movie. It was a good.
I love that movie.
And your favorite movie doesn't have to be some kind of like Oscar award winning.
Nah, man. Like I think that was the first movie that like I really paid attention to in like film critiquing.
Yeah, kind of a film lens.
Yeah.
You were looking through it,
and I just like I noticed so much stuff about it. The more I watched it, that it was like, oh, this is my shit. And I love Morgan Freeman
because I do think people like me and you watch movies slightly differently than a normal person would. Yeah, we kind of view it through a frame. As much as we try to enjoy the movie and watch the movie, we also can appreciate like the technical aspects and the storytelling
and the aesthetics of just why they
chose certain things and stuff. Yeah,
and just dissecting some of the like scenes and stuff to be like, okay, that might be why they did this that way.
For sure. And I mean, that's fun, you know. You might hear us say that and go, well, y'all aren't watching the movie kind of how, you know, like you should. You guys are analyzing it too much.
Nah. I mean, over time you want to be able to know exactly why things are shot that way.
And you can still be immersed in a movie and then kind of analyze it kind of through a different lens and stuff. So I don't feel like it's taken away my like viewing pleasure of watching movies and stuff. Oh Lord, what are we doing now?
Oh, this is for me, man.
Oh, this is for you?
I mean, I can pour you some if you want some.
I'll take some.
I was seeing how much was still in here.
I also think I've mentioned maybe my favorite movie in school. Do you remember me ever talking about a favorite movie? Because we went to film school together, in case y'all didn't know.
Film school, people.
It's actual film school.
Film school.
If it's still around or whatever.
It's not. That's why I just say film school.
Yeah. We're not going to shout out the school or anything. Yeah. Might as well be shouting out Sally Mae at that point.
Yeah. No, they don't exist either anymore.
You know what, though? Some of my student loans, I started hearing rumblings like Biden might be forgiving certain loans.
I've actually gotten like someone that called me and said that like your student loans should be able to be forgiven.
So I think Biden might have actually passed something. Well, again, I'm not a fucking
I think it's up to a certain amount that they go like
forgive.
I
think mine might have qualified. I might be wrong here.
But I called
up Navient. Because I think they were one of the ones that was like on the list of people you could maybe get forgiven for. So I called them up, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't actually service your loan anymore. We don't. You no longer have to talk to us. We don't have your loan." Navient sold my loan to some other agency, and now they have it, which I thought was kind of like, hold up. If Navient is forgiving loans, did they just loophole my ass? Like, was I able to be forgiven, and yet because they sold their loan to someone else, now I'm not? It kind of fucked with me for.
They sold it to an agency so they can get some money for your loan.
Otherwise, they would have had to just
Otherwise they wouldn't have gotten anything. So now they've given it to this agency. Now this agency is going to start harassing you to be like, "Oh, we have this loan. You should pay it," but you don't.
The fucked up thing is,
but you don't.
What? I don't pay it.
You don't.
I mean, I haven't been,
but they've already paid it. That's what the whole loophole is that people don't understand about like credit bureaus and stuff. Calling you. Of course, if you want to wait the 7-year span of wait until it gets off your credit, you wait that. But most of the time, when they actually buy that credit from that person, which is Navient, that's theirs now. Yeah, they actually own this because they've already purchased it. You didn't make an agreement to them to do that. Like that was on them because they just figured that, hey, I can probably get this money from him. Man. So now I'm gonna call him and I'm gonna do all this to try to make him make some kind of options. No, you don't have to make nothing. You pay for that. I could have paid Navient directly, but you jumped in.
This shit's hurting my head. So
yeah, that's what they try to confuse
back
you
to
with.
School, man.
Shots for me from Cabo.
I remembered your favorite movie. I don't know if I ever really talked much about mine in school. Do you remember? If you had to guess, what would you say would it be?
It was something weird.
It wasn't, or it
wasn't.
Maybe I said it was. At the time.
It wasn't expected. I can't remember it now. But what the funny thing that popped in my head, the first movie that popped in my head was not another teen movie. I don't know why.
It's funny you mentioned that actually, because I was doing auditions for this role that I have coming up. I was auditioning actors, and I asked them to prepare something to read to me as the audition process. And one of the guys read kind of the final monologue of Not Another Teen Movie.
Oh, wow.
Where he's like, Janie, don't get on that plane, Janie. If you do, you'll regret it. And he didn't tell me what it was beforehand, but as soon as he said Janie, I was like, is this motherfucker reading? Is he performing Not Another Teen Movie?
Make this a monologue right now.
And he did. He did the whole thing, and then he finished and went, scene. And I was like, dude, that's Not Another Teen Movie. He's like, yep, it is.
No, you should have said, damn, that shit is whack.
Right? Be the token black guy. My favorite movie is Forrest Gump.
And I knew that for some reason. And I think we've talked about it because I mentioned me going to Savannah where it was filmed at. Yeah. And seeing like actual, landmarks of the film. Yeah. And I love that movie too, man. Like that was one of the, I want to say, bigger film movies that I watched that was like, all right, I understand some stuff about film because definitely Tom Hanks, you learn a whole bunch of stuff just from.
And that was one of those critical darling movies.
Like timepiece type of movies too.
For sure. Of the time type stuff, yeah. And it was well received. Normally I try to be like the film student. My favorite movie is like the Korean movie Old Boy from 1997. Forrest Gump is
what is that?
Forrest Gump is definitely like a mainstream movie, but I don't know. I fucking love that movie. I watched it the other day. I feel like every time I watch it, I like see something new or think about something different or new when I see it and stuff like.
And that's what I mean by like Tom Hanks, because like all of his stuff is like Hollywood legendary type of production that goes into it. So it's got different layers of stuff in most of the time, and you don't really realize it as a kid seeing these movies when they first come out.
That's probably a big thing with it. Is I was. A lot younger when I first saw it,
and that's why.
And some of the stuff will go over your head,
But as you get older and like you watch it, and you be like, I didn't notice that in the background before. Now it just intrigues you more to watch it.
Yeah, a big movie like that is Roger Rabbit. I saw when I was a kid. Right.
Please.
And as a kid, I enjoyed it. I loved the movie, but as I get older and older. The more I watch it, the more I pick up on things that I was like, I didn't even like. Yeah. I didn't get that joke when I was a kid. I still laughed at it because Roger Rabbit fucking said it. But like, as an adult, I like fully
and that's what like gives you the best experience of watching movies over now because like
You
the
get to
movies
see it.
the movies are made by adults, so most of the jokes are usually made for the adults in them. Even the cartoon stuff, they have adult jokes in them because they know you're here with your kids, but we got to try to entertain you too because you didn't spend the money to come.
And that's kind of the weird thing in general about like kids stuff is always written by adults.
Yeah, so it's got stuff in it for you. You just usually have to watch it, and I think that like makes you appreciate most of it more now as an adult because it's like we know how it works.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh man, these people probably was thinking about me in this one little line of the whole movie.
Yeah.
and you'll
true.
gravitate to that point next time you see it because it's like, oh yeah, I know this is coming up now. This is for the adults.
What if I gave you a genre? Well, like horror. Can you name different like favorite movies for different genres?
13 Ghosts, man. That's
13 Ghosts. That's a
only because it highlights my perception of perspectives, especially like the different ghosts and like how they made like all of these different storylines come into one thing, and I guess kind of that whole puzzling type of thing of like
it's got Matthew
figuring,
Lillard in it. My girl actually loves Matthew Lillard.
Rod Digger's in there.
Shannon Elizabeth. Rod Digger. Who's he?
Rod Digger's the only
I
black
know
chick
who
in
he
there.
is.
Now that's the black chick.
Oh, from
the Flip Mode
Terrorist.
Squad. Flip Mode Squad with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
She
Damn,
lived,
I didn't
and she
actually- I
lived.
didn't actually know that was her.
Cause it's a historic moment in black horror films that a black person actually lived. We don't usually live.
I was a
through
teenager
scenes.
when that movie came out, and all I remember is there was ghost titties in it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she
Great.
got some nice one too. The
Great.
woman that's like cut
sliced up.
and
Yeah,
stuff.
great ghost titties. Like,
So, I remember that because I was a horny teenager when the movie came
and
out.
I think at that point in my life, I realized that movies need those in them to keep men's attention because otherwise, like, we'll be fell asleep or something.
Yeah.
We like horror films and all that stuff too, but like, hey, you can throw in some little, unexpected nudity.
See, the horror genre is where I will flex my kind of like bougie card because a horror movie's got to be more than just a horror movie for me to like call it like a good movie. Like,
Yeah, it's got to have all of those things in it for me sometimes.
So like I don't know, like I really like Hereditary. I have a Hereditary shirt on right now. A lot of the more like psychological horror movies I'm into.
I can dig that.
Like a lot
like
of people
stuff
are
that
just
makes you
like
think.
a lot of people are like I just want to see people get
Slashers,
stabbed.
yeah.
I want to see gore and blood but like, I enjoy psychological stuff. The Witch is a really good movie. Like it's like a slow burn, but it's like it's also a period piece and it's like creepy as fuck. So like I don't know. I get a little more bougie with the horror genre. It's almost like have you seen the new Scream? The newest Scream?
I've seen a little bit. My wife watched it, and I was like,
It's pretty good, actually.
I was like, why do they remake this? I was like, why are they remaking
Well,
old stuff?
It's not necessarily a remake.
I know, but it's like they still use the name though, so it's like
It's a direct sequel though.
Yeah,
It's Scream like 5 or something. They just didn't say Scream 5. It's just called Scream again. But it's funny because in that movie they kind of address people like me where they need like the elevated horror. They kind of make fun of the people who like the elevated horror genre. And I was like, come on, man, I like that shit.
I mean,
have you seen all this? Have you seen all the Scream movies?
I've seen, I think up to 4.
I think this one might be the 5th one. I think.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I thought 4.
I
was
recently, the new Scream came out, and we were like, "Ooh, we should watch the new Scream," and we cut on the new Scream, and then we were like, hold on a second, we should watch all the other Screams first. And we
lead up to it.
We spent like 2 weeks watching all the other Screams
2 weeks.
before we could even get to the freaking new one. So we decided we wanted to see the new one, but had to do 2 weeks of work to get to the new one. Yeah. So
It happens that way sometimes.
I kind of have them ranked now, from like best in my opinion to worst, because I think 1 is still the best. The first one will always be the best one. The second one is still good. The third one Is it? The fourth one is the fucking worst thing I might
I was
have.
gonna say they should have.
4 is bad.
They should have just stopped at 3, man.
4 is bad.
They should have just stopped.
3 was bad too. So I would go. My ranking is 1, 2, 5, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're good movies though.
I can go with that same order.
Like a lot of my enjoyment of the first 2 are nostalgia, I guess, because I don't know, things come out when you're at a certain age and you just have this love for them. Because Scream came, I remember when the first Scream came out, and it was like a cultural like phenomenon. I feel like Drew Barrymore was at the beginning, and she got fucking gutted and stuff like that, and it was crazy. It was a big deal. So I also like the way they were shot. I don't know how they did them, man. I don't know. Maybe it was like anamorphic lenses or something. But yeah, just the way they shot.
They had like some different. It was some new technology.
Yeah, it seems pretty stylized. Even today, you can watch it and you notice like kind of the shots they do and stuff. So, and then but the fourth one was just so like I don't know what they were doing, man. Like it almost looked like they like rubbed Vaseline on the lenses. And things were like blurry and shiny for like weird reasons and stuff. And
it's like, look, they realized they were trying to do a Fast and the Furious. All right.
Yeah.
It's like, look, we got a franchise going. Let's just put one out so we can get some money for the next one.
But then in the fourth one, they were like, things are changing technology wise. You know what we should do in the fourth one? We should include webcams and the internet and people texting and cell phones and stuff, and like that shit didn't work. Like
they had nothing. That's what it was. That was a plug to get production money for the next one. I think that's what happened.
And even they started getting lazy with the killers too. This video has kind of turned into a Scream review, I guess. But like some of the first ones. The first 2, at least, there were like clues and like things you could maybe pick up on and be like, "Oh, I think he's the killer." But like the third and fourth one, well, maybe not. The third one is the fourth one is just like the killer is this person for like whatever reason. We're just gonna tell you why. Like it's like there was no really clues or build-ups. It was just like this is the killer. Oh, he happens to be the brother of the motherfucker over there. And like
that's why I was like, I don't think they had a real plan. I think they was just they was putting a production plug out for the next movie.
And you know what else
money
kind of got like that were the Saw movies. They kind of
I stopped watching those probably like 4 in.
Yeah. They got
I would see them, when they came out with a new one, but like I stopped going to the movies to see them probably like 3 or 4.
And then there was like Saw 3D, Saw the Final Chapter, Saw the blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh my God. And then they just came out with one called Spiral, the Book of Saw, which had like Chris Rock in it. I never saw that.
Yeah, he like executive produced and directed it or something, I think.
Yeah, he might have, or written it even or something like that. Yeah.
I think Danny Glover's somebody in there too, ain't he?
Donald Glover?
Danny Glover.
The old Danny Glover.
Yeah.
Which he was in. Oh, Danny Glover is, I think he's Chris Rock's like dad or whatever.
Something. I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's like, like how is it still a story? Like how I thought they caught the guy. They caught Jigsaw in one of the movies, and then he was dying, and then he like transitioned all of his power into like his protege. It was just like
I feel like there was about 5 proteges.
Like we're not scared of her. Like we're not. I'm not afraid of her. I don't care what she can do.
That shit just got so convoluted. It was like, oh, in this movie, what you didn't know was that person in the background.
Because the Jigsaw guy kind of looked like the real guy who actually played Freddy Krueger. Like he looked kind of like him, so he kind of looked scary. Then he just had like a mental illness type of thing, so it was just kind of like, oh yeah, he's got a death wish. Like he's probably gonna die, so he just want to take people with him, type of thing.
It just seemed like every movie they tried to like retcon or just like change, like, oh, what you didn't know that happened in the third movie is that such and such was actually working.
He met up with this person, and they took on to the rings of his type of doings, like.
And then that person wearing the pig mask was actually not that other person, but they made that.
And they actually was subdued under this news.
They were like tricked into doing blah.
Like,
anyway.
Oh my God! Like, can we just have one killer? And
I don't know any other genres.
That's what I think a lot of this new stuff is missing. There's no one guy. You know, Michael Myers.
Yeah.
One guy.
Yeah.
You're fucking afraid of him.
Yeah.
You're not gotta worry about this other person that's trying to be like, you know, scary and all this stuff.
That's
too.
true, I guess.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. One guy.
Yeah.
And that was real life.
That's interesting.
So,
yeah.
real stuff.
And they used to try to build kind of franchises around that stuff. Like Jason became the franchise. So like, there's really been no new kind of like
one known
character.
Yeah, you know?
Because what? You can name...
Dominant force.
You can name, Jason and Freddy and
Krueger.
Chucky, and you might be able to throw the Ghostface from Scream in there. You know, there's like Leatherface.
Yeah.
Pennywise. Those are kind of franchise, kind of fucking building.
But then you get into like all the other little creature things that's just scary, you know, like Gremlins and all that kind of stuff. Puppet Master
Gremlins
stuff.
are cute.
Did you ever watch Puppet Master growing up?
No, I remember seeing them in the like Blockbuster or like whatever I had.
Yeah,
in my
that
town.
one section.
Yeah, I remember
Blockbuster.
always
Oh my
seeing
God.
that kind of poster for it is kind of in my brain and everything. But
Blockbuster.
I never saw Hellraiser.
People don't know
either.
what Blockbuster is, man. Just
Blockbuster. That's where you used to go, physically
movie
go.
rentals.
So get movies.
Yeah.
Hellraiser though. Have you ever seen?
Yeah, Hellraiser.
I never saw that as a kid either. And
Oh man, that shit.
I saw it recently,
traumatized
and
my
it's like
dreams,
weirdly like sexual and erotic, and like I don't know. Yeah, it was like skeeving me out a little bit. I was like, I don't know if I like this.
Yeah, that was stuff that I used to get traumatized with as a kid from my mom's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Who had a friend that they used to race cars and all that stuff. Where he had like kind of like a, not necessarily a garage, but he had like, you know, a couple cars in his backyard that they take parts off of and shit or whatever. Went over there one time. His name was Gary. I'll never forget his fucking name ever in my fucking life. Gary, nice, cool guy. You know, Gary had a whole lot of energy, crazy as hell sometimes. He had a dummy, put it in the car.
Like a crash dummy?
Like a crash, not necessarily crash dummy, but like made a, you know, like a dummy or whatever.
Sure.
It had a clown face on it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's where I get all of my clown, you know, experience from. Usually does stuff to mess with people all the time or whatever.
Right.
This one time, I'm waiting in the car. My mom's boyfriend, they went in the house. He like, stay in the car, I'm coming back or whatever. This was in the 90s, people, you know. Kids could stay in the car as long as, you know.
There weren't any rules.
There wasn't no rules and none of that. Like, you stay in the car, like, you outside, ain't no,
no one cares.
Yeah. Wind the windows down. That's about it. So, I'm in the car, and I'm just like, all right, and I ain't staying in this car. Like, I'm getting out. Like, I know where we at. We at Gary's house. Like, this car up here parked or whatever. It's one of his beat-up cars that he ain't driving. It look like it's a dummy or something in there. All right. I go up there. I'm walking, and I'm literally, like, slowly walking because I'm like, it looks like a dummy, and it looked like it got one of his masks or something on it or whatever. His clown mask or whatever. I get up to the side of the car.
Don't you hit me with something fucked up. Right
No. That's
like, it's a dead body.
No, it's definitely not a dead body. It's definitely not.
It's like, oh, fuck, what are you about to say?
It's definitely not a dead body. I get up to the side of the car, and literally, as soon as I step to the side of the car, he looks at me. And I took off running. Like, I ran all the way from their yard to the main road, like all the way down to almost the main highway.
Right.
Until my mom's boyfriend came and got me because he was like, it's Gary, he in the mask, it's Gary.
Well, what the fuck was he doing in the mask?
Gary crazy, man. I told you that. Like, this is this type of stuff that Gary likes fucking with people. And definitely trying to scare kids. So I think I might have been like 8 or 9 or something.
They set your ass up.
They set me up, man. I should have stayed my ass in the fucking car. Like, this is what happens. So get ready for that type of stuff when Adam grows up.
Can I traumatize him in those kind of ways and stuff?
When they get of a certain age, maybe hopefully he won't remember it because I remember it my whole fucking life, yo. So that's my whole.
Do you think that kind of influenced your?
That's my fascination with clowns, man. That was one of the times that like they got me, and I was like, that shit scared. I'm talking about.
That's
the
funny.
crap out of me. I remember that forever.
It's like, yeah, like, I guess I can kind of relate because I remember when I was a kid, yeah, my parents were never big horror movie fans. My dad didn't like horror movies, so I never really grew up, like, watching that type of stuff. But my parents would watch, like, The X-Files and, like,
Oh, that was just as scary, man.
Unsolved Mysteries and stuff like that. And that shit would scare me, too, man. Like,
Unsolved Mysteries, man.
like, you might have been scared of,
I had to go to bed when that came on. I was going to bed.
No, I would stay up and watch it, but you know how
no.
a lot of Unsolved Mysteries, they would put, like, the location at the bottom?
Yeah, that's why I went to bed.
The location would pop up, and I'd be like, Mom and Dad, that's not near us. Like, I would be so worried that, like, you know.
I couldn't go to sleep if I knew that much information.
So, I mean, I guess that's kind of what traumatized me as a kid. Like, and maybe that's where kind of my sci-fi fandom comes in. Because I remember a lot of times X-Files, you know, of course, was like aliens and stuff. So, as a kid, I wasn't scared of Chucky. I was scared of, like, being abducted, like, through my window at night and shit. Like, I would wake up and, like, look at my window and hope that, like, a bright light wouldn't come shining through and my body wouldn't rise up and be taken out of it by an alien.
Which is all logical thinking, man, because there are aliens, people. There are aliens.
Yeah, you want to get into that?
No, but I'm just saying there are.
Next episode, we'll talk about aliens.
Next episode, we'll definitely get into
We're going to talk
aliens.
about aliens next
For
episode.
real, like real alien talks, like type of stuff.
Okay,
but,
I like that. Yeah, we'll talk about aliens.
Yeah, but just that intro to Unsolved Mysteries, that
They've got some new Unsolved Mysteries, actually.
Nah, they got it. That is the creepiest shit you would ever hear. Like
The guy who was
Yeah.
like the narrator guy was like creepy as fuck too.
Yeah, he always came through like this mist of fog.
His voice too was very. I can't.
This evening,
Yeah, it was scary.
stay away from this guy.
So next episode we're gonna talk about aliens and unsolved mysteries, maybe a little more.
Yeah.
But we're gonna wrap this shit up today.
Wrap it up.
We've been
people.
going long enough.
Wrap that shit up, B.
Yeah, we're gonna get the wrap it up box out here and check
We
it
can
out.
make one of those.
And I'm gonna get a travel stenographer or whatever. What was that other shit that he did? Remember, like a little midget that he would wear on his backpack that would like type things. Or no, it wasn't even that. It was, anyway,
I know what you're talking about, though. The travel
the home stenographer, travel stenographer. Yeah.
What exactly did he say? Read the transcript back.
Read that back to me. Yeah.
It's like he said you was a bitch ass.
All right, y'all. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with us this week. Join us next week where we're gonna do some more hanging out. And come kick it with us, man. You know, we're just out here shooting
Making the
this
next
shit.
episode, you know?
Yeah. So y'all stay up. Peace.
Hey.